100 million plus population in India today is diabetic. This uptick, this upsurge is of 44% in the last 4 years, and this has been corroborated and backed by an ICMR study. It estimates pre-diabetic population, Varghese, pre-diabetic, that is not even diabetic but it's heading there, to be at 136 million. 36% of our population have hypertension. Hypertension essentially means your blood pressure going above the 180 mark, which essentially is emergency SOS. And there's a very thin line between blood pressure problems and having diabetes, your sugar intake. What's really happening? I mean, this looks like a ticking time bomb, doesn't it?
In this country, we have never focused on healthcare the way we are supposed to focus. Now, this is other than primary and secondary healthcare that we've been asked to give. This healthcare that we're talking about is on an advanced level, at a personal level, and a lot of these advanced countries do recognize obesity, cholesterol, as well as diabetes to be national concerns. We are still yet to go on that level. One, the ICMR, this thing, I mean, when the Indian Express has put it out, a quarter diabetic or pre-diabetic, a third are obese. A quarter are diabetic or pre-diabetic, a third of them are obese. Study flags national health concern. Now, this study is saying that when it comes to some of the states, they've given a state-wise this thing on from Lancet. They have taken that particular data.
Right.
When it comes to diabetes, national prevalence, it's 11.4%, but in Goa it is 26.4%.
That's the worst hit state, the
Yes.
worst affected state.
So when it comes to pre-diabetes, national prevalence rate is 15.3%. Sikkim is 31.3% on pre-diabetes. Hypertension 35.5%, national prevalence rate. Punjab, it is 51.8%. Generalized obesity is 28.6%, all right? And the small union territory state of Puducherry has got it at 53.3%. Abdominal obesity, that is around 39.5%, that is 40% of the population when it comes to abdominal obesity. And again, we have Puducherry at 61.2%. Then you have hypercholesterolemia, which is 24%. Kerala has got 50.3%, that is almost half the population.
Wow. Wow.
Whoa.
35.5% of people, 35.5% of people have hypertension and 81.2% have dyslipidemia. What this essentially means is that there are abnormal levels of cholesterol in about 81.2% of the population. That's pretty much the entire population. The entire population having cholesterol issues. 28.6% Indians have generalized obesity. 39.5% have abdominal obesity. Goa is the worst affected, and in the 10 worst affected, Haryana faring the best in the 10 worst affected, Goa the worst affected over there. Kerala 25.5% population that is diabetic. What's really happening? I mean, we talk about yoga, we're celebrating Yoga Day, we're talking about
But
Ayurveda,
essentially, we are an unhealthy country.
The bottom
Essentially,
line
we are
is,
unhealthy.
we just talk about it. We love the idea of working out on Instagram. HIIT workouts really look good and sound good, but you don't really end up doing them. Our charts and Golgappa runs in the evenings are coming back to bite us, isn't that what?
See, when I've spoken to doctors about how the changing in habits has been, they say the eating habit from 91 onwards, and very interestingly, from 91 they say, because 91 onwards liberalization has taken place. So most of the doctors say from 91 onwards, our eating habits have changed completely on the level of a global scale, where we tend to bring in food products that are technically not suited to our body conditions. And then there are no laws that prevent from certain combinations. For example, in Europe, there are in some of the South American countries as well, there are laws that forbid you from being given aerated sugar drinks at hotels and restaurants. You can only be given water. Exactly. That's the point.
There you go, sir.
So they try to, make the availability of sugar drinks in all these places. They try to restrict it. There are laws that restrict it, and there is also in certain countries there's also a ban on the advertisements of these sugary
But
drinks.
ban on food in a country like India, I mean, we're food-loving people. We've got so many dialects, and with dialects comes so many cuisines.
But it does. Look at the oil process, for example. What is the kind of oil that we use on a pan scale? We use palm olein, and we get it imported from Indonesia and Malaysia, and we do use it.
I'll tell
as
you
a
what,
leverage.
today at dinner table, when I'll open this conversation with my family, the first comment that's going to come back to me is that, what's the need of putting in so much pressure on your body? What's the need of, putting health first? Enjoy the food, enjoy the taste. There's so much that the Lord has given. I mean, what all will you say no to?
But are you taking the right food is the question, Kabir. How are you taking the right food? Look, for
Only
example,
recently we had the case
what
of
is
that
the-
young
we
doctor
talk
who's
about
carried
calories.
out 16,000 cardiac surgeries, who succumbed to a heart attack himself at a young age of 41. So that is there, of course.
So are you having that's why I was saying, look at the way it is. 91 onwards, liberalization onwards, if you make a correlated study, you would see the rise in heart diseases, you would see the rise in diabetes, you would see because what happens is that there was no regulation that stopped. We don't know what is good or bad. We kept on importing food that could, or we
Right.
try to, in fact, introduce
food.
brands. Fast food is the right word that you have used. I was trying to go, a little bit around the place, but anyway, the introduction of fast food.
I'm not naming those brands, am I?
I mean, no, you're not making it. But anyway, with the introduction of these fast food and these systems into, or rather these food systems into our dietary habits, it has to a large extent hit the very foundation of what we used to have healthy snacks or what we used to have as healthy food. And now it's going to become a bigger issue because now a lot of people are going for takeaways,
Right.
especially from the same
Cloud kitchen is such a huge concept.
Yes.
People have stopped cooking inside their own
house.
kitchens.
Exactly. So now, since takeaways are coming in, there is more availability of fast food.
Yeah, I was talking to my,
It's
young
not that I don't
nephew.
like. It's not that I hate fast food. I love fast food.
I was talking to my young nephew. He said that, I carry my kitchen right here. It's on my phone. That's. Do you know how
So,
to cook?
no, so
He said,
who-
why do I need I
Even-
don't have the need to know how to
And now
cook.
what happens is before, Kabir, from the generation probably we came in, our mothers decided what we ate in the morning, in the afternoon and the evening, and probably we had to fight for some of those good snacks. But now the kids go to the phone of their fathers and they say that, okay, I want this, and it is immediately there. Access is there for teenagers, access is there for everyone to order the food that they want.